Okay, so as you can tell from the title, I do have my top 5 Texas rig baits. You have the Guggen Baits Bandito bug. You will notice that this is white. The color is actually called pearl. We're going to get to that in a minute. You have the Strike King Rage Craw. It is the Rage Tail Rage Craw. The patent in this craw is famous. This color is the blue bug. I mean, it's black and blue, but it's called blue bug. Zoom Baby Brush Hog. Green pumpkin color. Gary Yamamoto Senko in the 5-inch. The color is perch. Power bait. Power tube. It is the 3.5-inch. The color is Goby Magic. I picked the tube so I could go over the Texas rigged terminal tackle for a subscriber who wanted me to cover it in a different video. So, like I said, now before we talk about the baits, just to get this out of the way, because I do get asked all the time, we're going to go over the tackle, okay? The hook that I use is the Gamakatsu Superline EWG in the 3/0 size. And I know I've said this a ton of times, but I do get asked, is this the same thing as the Offset Shankworm EWG 3/0, except it's a Superline? Yes, it is. This is an amazing hook. The weight that I use is the Strike King Tour Grade Tungsten. You will notice this is the 1/4 ounce, okay? I do use the 1/4 ounce. And I also use, there we go, a 3/8. 1/4 ounce and 3/8, but the majority of the time I'm going to go for a 1/4 ounce. Now, just to show for demonstration purposes, like I said, this is a 3/0 hook. All a Texas rig is a hook and a weight connected to your, that was a fail, connected to your soft plastic, and rigged weedless. Dragged in the bottom, flipped, pitched, punched, you name it. It's a great technique to fish year-round, spring, summer, fall, pre-spawn, post-spawn, spawn, bed fishing. A bunch of stuff is what we're going to be going over, okay? Now, this is something I get asked all the time. This is something that I've fished all the time for years, before YouTube, you name it. I prefer a 7-foot to a 7'3" medium heavy power fast action, and the specifications will usually be like 10 to 20 pound test, 3/8 to 1 ounce, okay? Now, I don't want people to get confused and think that my Texas rig setup is my punching setup or my heavy cover Texas rig setup, okay? It's not. And like this Texas rig, I do not peg, okay? But if I was punching or fishing really heavy cover, I would peg it. I'm just telling you, this is my generic Texas rig setup, okay? I've fished a Texas rig on a spinning rod, a cheap combo, a mid-grade combo, an expensive combo, G Loomis, Shimano Metanium, Bantam, Corrado DC, Casitas, Shimano rods, St. Croix rods, 13 fishing, yeah. Right now, got him.
That's big. Yes. I don't know about big, but that's a good one. Tell me that was on, and it is.
The hook set and just like the bite and the boat flip, that's something I just don't get tired of. I love it. Went to the store the other day and I picked up a pack of the white Bandito bug. Like I said, on the package it does say pearl. And you might be wondering, why did I pick up the white ones? Well, white is a good color for bass fishing, but it is especially good for bed fishing. Now, a lot of people might be watching this and say, well, why wouldn't you bed fish with a white craw? I would, and I will, and I have. I've actually done quite a bit of bed fishing. I just haven't ever really made videos of it on my channel. That's something I'm hoping to get next year. But just like throwing a craw, like a green pumpkin or a watermelon or a black and blue, white is a very good color for bed fishing. So this Bandito bug, I'll be bed fishing with this. Another thing that's cool too about the Bandito bug is it is my favorite bait to Texas rig. Now, before you say anything, keep that in mind, and we're going to revisit that whole topic about what bait is what at some point in the video, so that should be really cool. Strike King Rage Craw. Like I said, it is black and blue, but the actual color is blue bug. What is all the rage about? Well, I'll tell you what. This right here is an amazing jig trailer. It's a great standalone Texas rig bait, and I do like the original black and blue, just like I do the blue bug, which is right here. But the blue bug is my favorite for a black and blue from the Rage Craw. See that? Now, do I believe that bass like the coffee scent? Yes, I do. They like the coffee scent, but they also like other scents from other brands. There we go. Get it back in the package. Baby Brush Hog Green Pumpkin. This is a bait if you have not thrown for largemouth bass, and believe it or not, even smallmouth bass, I highly suggest you should try it. I definitely think you're going to catch fish with it, and green pumpkin in this color, especially in the spring and the summer, is very good. Now, this is a Texas rig plastic that I've done more flipping and pitching with, and I think I already said fishing for largemouth with, but just look at that, okay? Of course, the tail would get stuck. See, you open it, you'll see it says zoom down on the tail. And these are actually pretty durable. I mean, of course, they're going to tear like some other baits do, but they're not bad. And for the price, it's a good price. Now, this 5-inch Senko right here, you'll notice that it is the perch color, like I said, but my favorite 5-inch Senko color is the smoke with black and purple. That's just the color I've had the most luck with, caught the most fish on, excuse me, and that is a color that I would recommend. A stick bait like this is great for a Texas rig, a weightless Texas rig, a wacky rig, a Carolina rig, a drop shot. You can cut it and Ned rig it, you name it. These baits are amazing. So you do have 4 of those. Now onto the power bait tube, okay? 3.5 inch, and it is the Gobi Magic color. You guys know that the Strike King coffee tube is my favorite tube, but I do have to do a little demonstration. I did have a subscriber ask me how would I rig the tube if I was going to Texas rig it. Okay, this is a 3/0 hook. You're going to notice for this tube and for the coffee tube, it will work, but it would probably be suited best with a 2/0 hook. You'll notice that the tube is hollow, okay? But if you look on the back of these and the back of the coffee tubes, you will see that Texas rigging, yep, right there, is an option to fish the tube. And do fish really hang on to power bait 18 times longer? I don't know about 18 times, but they do hang on to that for a very long time, just like they do Gulp Alive. I do know a lot of people do believe in Gulp Alive and use it. And I believe in power bait. But anyway, your tube, your hook. See what I'm saying? This is just for demonstration purposes. You'll put the hook into the tube. You're going to bend it. Or excuse me, you're going to put it in where the bend meets. Now, of course, you're going to do this with line attached to your hook and your weight, your bullet weight up here. But like I said, this is just for demonstration purposes. Take it down, and then you're going to put the hook into the tube or the bait where the point meets. Now, you'll notice that's going to be at the very bottom of the tube. This is why I say a 2/0 hook would be better than a 3/0 if you're going to Texas rig a tube. And I mean, just by looking at it, I mean, a 1/0 hook would probably even work better. And I would go with a 1/0 Superline EWG or a 2/0 Superline EWG, not a regular. Regulars do work, they're fine, but if you're using braid and sometimes even fluorocarbon, they will bend out. But, like I said, put it into your bait, and you will see that it works. You will see that it will keep your bait straight. You'll see that it works, but a 1/0 or a 2/0 will serve it better. Now, I have noticed that on the Strike King coffee tube, the EWG hook does fit into the tube a little bit better than the power bait. But I did just want to go over that for the person in the comments that asked me about that. And what weight would I use for the Texas rig tube? I mean, that depends. A 1/4 ounce is standard. You can do 3/8, you can do 1/2 ounce. You got to find what the fish want. Sometimes they want it fast. Sometimes they want it slow. You also have to take into consideration the depth of water you're fishing, the water clarity, the wind, the direction the boat is pointed, or if you're on the bank. There's a whole lot of things that go into that. Now, this is the really cool part about this Texas rig video, because I'm going to tell you from my personal experience what I really think about these baits and what these baits are to me, besides just bed fishing or a jig trailer or flipping and pitching or a stick bait or a tube. We're going to do it right now. Here we go. This right here, this Googan Baits Bandito Bug, this is my favorite bait to Texas rig. I just think it's a lot of fun. I like it. You guys have seen me fish the natural and the black and blue color more than anything. But white is an amazing bait for bed fishing. Like a white craw or a white bug will be amazing for bed fishing. But anyway, that's beside the point. We're going to cover that in a future video. So, the Bandito Bug is my favorite bait to Texas rig. The Rage Craw is my favorite jig trailer. It is also the most effective jig trailer I've ever had in a soft plastic. So, like I said, favorite, most effective jig trailer. All-time highest producing Texas rig bait. That means the bait that I've caught the most fish on with the Texas rig is a baby brush hog in the green pumpkin. And yes, smallmouth bass will eat it, and so will largemouth bass. I've had smallmouth bass hit this in clear water on the Great Lakes in the middle of nowhere. Senko. That's a bait I'm going to throw if I can't get a bite. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you can do, a lot of techniques, Nico rig, drop shot, you name it, finesse jig. But a Senko is a great bait for pressured water. A tube has to be one of the most effective techniques for a smallmouth bass. And it's cool too, because you guys will see in the videos, if you go back and look through the videos, these are all baits that I've fished and caught fish on, okay? I'm only speaking on these and telling you about these because I've experienced them and I've been fishing them for quite a long time. Now, if you go back through the videos, you will see videos and fishing videos with each of these baits, like I said. So, one more time, okay? Googan Baits, favorite bait. It's a lot of fun. Rage Craw, the best jig trailer. This is, of course, in my opinion. You guys can use whatever you want, and no, I'm not sponsored by any of these. The Baby Brush Hog, the most effective, highest catch ratio Texas rig bait that I've used. It's caught more fish than this, more fish than this. Senko, it's a go-to. I usually always have them with me, along with, you know, the brush hog, the bugs, the craws. A tube. I'm going to start using this one more often, but like I did say, the coffee tube is my favorite. That is my opinion about these. That is just what I think. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and you know I will respond to all of you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys like this, and I hope this helped you. I mean, I wanted to give some tips, but not a ton, so there we go, because I always get asked about that.